Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Attack on Titan. It's another OVA. Isle's Notebook? Isel's Notebook? Isle. I'm going to say Isle. I-S-L-E.
Ilse?
Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll learn. Maybe we won't.
Maybe the notebook is not even important at all.
You know, like, OVAs are like a weird thing to me in a lot of series. You know, they're extra content that I could watch if I just want some like flat face value entertainment with characters I like. That all changed when I watched
No Regrets.
No Regrets. That was amazing. Like
that
was
movie.
fantastic.
I would have gone to see that in theaters.
Agreed. It was a movie. And I know that this is not as long. There's no 2 parts. There's only one. But whether it's like fighting, whether it's story, whether it's anything, I assume that it's going to be filled with content that I enjoy.
I have high expectations because of No Regrets. So I'm hoping that they are met with this OVA.
Yeah, I feel that. But we were going to initially watch this right after, like before No Regrets even. But there were some people who were like, maybe just to be sure, watch episode 1 first of season 2, which we did.
Yeah. And
it was awesome. But I don't really, maybe we'll know why people wanted us to watch this before episode 1.
I mention of possible things that might feel like spoilers once we watched episode 1.
I'm really interested to see what it is, because it's like, I wouldn't think that they'd show like Orangutan.
Yeah, but I feel like there must be something that is like hindsight spoiler.
Yeah.
Or a little, I mean, what if it is some type of flash to the Beast Titan and, you know, it could possibly be that way. I don't really know what else about last episode could possibly have been spoiled.
Yeah.
Other than that reveal of the talking Beast Titan.
I think that, so this came out, from what I understand, before season 2 came out, you know?
Yeah. So
that could be wrong, but I definitely, after watching this, want to say if I wish I would have watched this OVA before season 1 or season 2 episode 1, or like I'm happy that I did after.
Yeah, because if it is that it came out before season 2, I mean season 2 was what, like 4 years after season 1,
something crazy.
So
like
I'm
that.
sure the OVAs came in the in between time.
Yeah,
it would make sense to me. So I do wonder, since we possibly are watching it out of the order that the original fans that were watching this series probably once a week,
yeah,
you know, back then, if it's going to change the experience for us at all.
I'm interested. I'm ready. You?
Yeah.
Sweet.
845
Okay.
突然現れた超
Okay,
大型巨人によって
An
little
intro we're used
prologue.
to.
Yes. Makes you think it's going to be about the main
人
cast.
類は
This
Yeah, agreed.
OVA.
巨人を倒す技と知識を身につけていたその頃
Oh, so it's during the
that
time that they were cadets.
You're 850. Interesting.
では調査兵団の精鋭たちが再び足を踏み
So like an older expedition.
Is this what happened right before the Colossal appeared behind Eren?
Maybe. Because like we saw the scouts returning, right?
ねえリヴァイ
Mike, rip.
まだ何も言ってないよ
巨人の捕獲に協力しろ。
ミケはどう一口乗らない
Aw.
Boring men with boring responses. Hanji, look at their faces, all 3 of them.
壁外調査を開始する。
So,
Okay.
I feel like this in the timeline is right before the Colossal shows up behind, like they've all graduated, you
Yeah.
know, right? Timeline-wise?
Timeline-wise, this takes place around episode 4. 850 was when episode 4 started. When we met Annie, we learned who the top 10 were, I believe.
Yeah, and I think around that episode is where we saw the scouts leave.
Yeah.
And then we had the graduation, and then they were on the wall, all talking about what they were going to do and about meat. because I think Sasha stole meat or something.
Yeah.
And the Colossal appeared behind Eren, and then there was a whole battle for like episodes and episodes and episodes.
Interesting.
So maybe this is about this expedition that they had left on during that period of time.
That's going to be really interesting because maybe something happened during this expedition to trigger the Colossal Titans like
appearance. Yeah.
Of a Scout Regiment member. So do you think Ilse is like a member who like is on this expedition who we
must be?
でも巨人の正体を突き止めることは調査兵団本来の目的のはず。巨人の捕獲が絶対に必要なんだ。
Is this when they get Sonny and Bean?
15年以上も前の話。
15 years ago. Damn.
20人以上の犠牲を払ってね。
捕獲作戦に兵を割くだけの余力はない。今日もここにたどり着くだけだ。すでに。
それは分かってるけど。
暗示。却下する。
Damn.
ちょっと。
ああ。
生け捕りと来た日にはいくら命があっても足りねえっす。
例えばだオルは本気でだ。さあどうする？戦って勝てるか？無理っすよ。教えてやろうか。調べ上げるんだよ。奴の行動の好み、便所に行く回数。
Taste in women.
そんなことを全部調べ上げるんだ。
I mean, honestly, great point.
This reminds me of the Wallist when she was talking to him on the wall.
Yeah. I like when Hanji snaps.
Oh, I bet she even said something very similar.
Yeah. I was just joking kind of thing.
A tree went down.
She really wants to capture one.
Its head is so huge. What if there's another one?
Damn. Still going for Hanji.
What? Why is he stopping? What? He's...
Why?
Titans get scared of something?
That's like definitely a higher level of consciousness, or maybe it's being called somewhere.
I want to know where it's going.
Yeah.
That's a secret, right? That's knowledge, where it would go.
Okay. We saw the one tree knocked down earlier too, right?
Yeah.
What?
What's wrong with it? It's showing more emotion than like
you don't
we've seen before.
Yeah.
Anger.
No, not yet. Damn.
Is this where he started talking, trying to talk more like Levi?
I think so.
黙れクソメガネ。お前が巨人のクソになりたいというなら、部下を危険にさらすな。
巨人は排便しないよ。消化器官が。
Smart ass.
Oh god.
Something in the tree?
巨人の仕業でしょうか。でもまさかそんな。
だからなんだ。
What?
A year ago.
Oh.
Longner?
巨人がこんなこと。
Ilse Logner.
リヴァイ。それは？
イルゼラングナーの
Ilse.
戦果だ。
Ilse Logner's. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So did it create that hole in the tree? Was it looking for this?
It seems like it was.
Person?
私の名はイルゼラングナ。巨人に遭遇。馬も失い。
Damn, nothing.
起動装置は北を目指し走る。 馬を失ってしまった。生存は絶望的。壁までたどり着けるかもしれない。今私が取るべき行動は恐怖にひれ伏すことではない。たとえ命を落とすことになっても最後まで戦い抜く。武器はないが私は戦える。
Damn, that mindset.
神全力でやる。
She's here. This is the same
私は
place.
屈しない。屈しない。
Oh.
Same Titan.
Oh. Her head was gone, right?
Yeah.
私は屈しない。いや、6メートル級。
It's been in the same spot all this time.
貴公子か。いよいよ最後を迎える。これまでだ。まだ親にも何も返していない。気持ち悪い。今
What?
Was that the spoiler? Was that
That it
what
could
would have been the
talk?
spoiler?
喋った。
Lady. What?
意味のある言葉を発した。ユミルの民。この巨人は表情を変えた。
I don't think this Titan killed her then.
私は巨人と意志を通わせた。
Oh, Hanji's gonna be so pissed that they killed this Titan.
Yeah.
あなたこの巨人に存在を問う。
Holy shit.
うめき声。どこから来たの？所在を問う。私たちを食べるの。目的を問う。
It's struggling. It's like an internal battle.
Is it like it wants to respond?
私たちを食べる。何も食わなくても死なない。お前たちが。お前ら無意味な人間だろ。この世から消え捨てろ。
Is it like
It's
keeping
tearing itself
from...
apart. It like trying to like snap itself out of it or fight.
It looks sad about it.
It had to have placed her in a tree.
And did it lead them to her body?
What?
エルヴィン・スミス殿、巨人捕獲作戦の再開を提言。
Now more than ever, right?
それが示唆するところは一つ。未だ無知であるということだろう。
They can talk.
言葉を発し、
Uttered words that have
姿勢
meaning.
を取った。加えて、樹木の鱗に保管と言ってもいいだろう。していた。イルゼが最後の一滴までその命を
Like a fucking
あ
badass,
Honestly.
dude.
情報を次につなげる責任があるはずだ。
No fight, no talking.
必ずや継続されなければならない。
Her
Oh,
father.
the family.
情報がたとえどんなにわずかだったとしても、いつの日か必ずや人類の反撃の糧となるものであると。
Oh, giving the notebook
大
too.
軍隊長。
Some sense of closure, right?
I mean, imagine reading how brave your daughter was until the end.
Continue to write while you're in.
To help the
A
goal
Titan's-
of obtaining information.
ハンジさん、
あんたたちもいい趣味してるね。
再戦した。俺がヘマしなけりゃ俺の命なんて言いやすい。
謝るのは私の方だ。
Putting subordinates in
私
in
はあん
harm's
たを
way.
殺しかけたんだ。でももう二度と自分の命が安いなんて言うな。
Oh.
I mean, of course a human's life isn't cheap. Ilse's life obviously wasn't. She died getting this information across.
ゴーを出したぞ。
They got the
Get the
go ahead.
go-ahead,
So
yep.
this is when they get
Bonnie and-
Sonny
yep.
and Bean. Woo.
ハンジゾエ分隊長はリヴァイ兵士長率いる巨人の捕獲に成功した。ハンジの考案した新たな捕獲方法が採用されとはなかった。
Not a single life was
That's
lost.
awesome.
So these must be the Titans before Sonny and Bean, because she said that she accidentally went too far with them,
other ones.
with the experimenting and stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa.
So I made the mistake of like reverting back to like my anime ways of thinking like numbers mean years. When she said that she was part of the 34th expedition, I forgot that multiple like expeditions can happen whenever we want, right?
Yeah, it's not like based on the year of time.
So the 49th expedition is the one that they were on, and then damn. So and it said
and what
a
was
year.
Levi's first was like the 37th or something like that.
23rd maybe.
Oh, 23rd?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Holy shit. Okay, so Ymir, Lady Ymir.
Lady Ymir, the subjects of Ymir.
Lady Ymir.
And this throws that whole theory that the bigger and or hairier Titans are the ones that have more intelligence, because obviously none of them are talking other than this real small fry dude. Maybe it's the size of their head. It's a very big head on a little body.
Yes, but the hairy Titan seemed to have some sense of or semblance of like free will, and I don't know, it like controlled other Titans, right?
Yeah.
This seems to be still following some objective, right?
Yeah.
This like whoever Lady Ymir is, I assume looks a lot like Ilse, right?
Mm-hmm. That or this Titan stays in this one specific spot all of the time and believes that whoever enters this spot is like the person has come to him, like you found me, I found you kind of thing. And this is their meeting spot. This could have been a spot of like significance, like actuality, like to this person that he thinks Ilse is. Does that mean all of them could possibly have some semblance of self-control?
Well, it kind of feels like
ripping
it.
at his face.
Okay, what was it ripping at its face for? Was it
she was yelling at him
or asking questions? No,
she was asking questions, and he was starting to feel he was moaning.
At what point did it start? Why do you eat us?
Yeah, when she brought up the kind of most horrific fact of, I mean, imagine you're being reminded of something horrible that you feel like a monster.
Yeah.
What if this Titan feels and knows that it's a monster, but it's trying to hold on to some humanity? And so hearing about these horrible things that the monsters do, it's like fighting with itself. Like, no, we don't. We do. I don't want to do that. And then it ends up doing that, and it looks so sad when it does it. Or so like, the look on its face was like if you were on a diet or something and you were trying to eat really healthy, and then you saw like a thing of M&Ms, and then you lost track of time and you ate like the whole bag of M&Ms while you were watching TV, and you're like crying while you're eating them or something. That's what it made me think of.
Okay, so I liked what you were saying about like the thought that this place has some like meaning in a sense, right?
It's such a pretty place.
It's a really pretty place, and it could very well be that whoever Lady Ymir is was sitting in the same place that this Titan put Ilse and was commanding or talking to Titans from that place, and then he has stayed and classifies himself as the subject of her. Like before they said Lady Ymir, I'm like, who is Ymir, and is he a doctor? Did he like and then Lady Ymir, is that like a sense of
there was respect there. He bowed.
If you are a lady, does that terminology indicate that there's some sense of royalty there?
Yes, I would say so. I mean, some form of you're above in like socioeconomic status. You know, you are either like a princess or you are definitely. my gosh, I'm so confused.
So when
I'm so confused what this means.
I like for 2 seconds I was like, Lady Ymir. That's none of the walls names, right? Because it isn't. It's
No.
Maria
But
Rosencina.
Ymir sounds oddly familiar to me.
I know.
And I don't think maybe it's been hinted somewhere at us, or maybe it's just a term that I've heard before that doesn't have anything to do with Attack on Titan. But I mean, the people who built this society and the walls obviously knew about Titans, to the point that the Titans are literally inside the walls, now we know.
This is very crazy.
It's a similar thing to, like, okay, there are a few video games that do this, but there's this kind of plot line of this society of people becoming monsters.
Yeah.
Genshin Impact is a game that has something similar to that. There's a lot of other video games that do it, where the people of the past are actually still around, but they are the villains that you are fighting now, and they have morphed and they don't have their past memories anymore. They have turned into these creatures, and it makes you wonder, I mean, we have asked, are these all, like, what if all of the people of the society, a bunch of them started turning into Titans?
Yeah, what do you think the meaning behind the term, like, subjects is? Do you think that their test subjects have gone wrong? And, like, the end goal was to get something that looks like Eren or something that looks like Annie?
That would be interesting. A lady, it might have been, like, a head scientist or someone that they had respect for. It didn't necessarily have to be nobility.
Yeah. Or somebody of nobility was a
part of it?
Yeah.
So, what's the timeline with this guy? We saw him he was hitting a tree with his head, and then Hanji encountered him in the forest.
Yeah.
And then led him out of it, which then he got anxious because I'm sure he never leaves this spot or near this spot. So then he got like, oh no, I've gone too far, almost, and ran back.
It did see, like, his, like, look on his face. It was, like, a proximity thing.
It's like he realized he had left. Like, he was so focused on chasing Hanji that he was like...
Okay, here's the thing, though. Did the tree, like, grow back?
He might be hitting a different
Ilse's?
part of it.
Okay, he could be hitting a different part of it. I didn't know if he was, like, looking for Ilse or what.
Part of it could be that maybe he's trying to control his urges because he remembers what he did the first time by killing Ilse.
Maybe.
And he's trying to not kill Hanji. Maybe he's punishing himself for leaving the tree.
So you don't think that, like, the tree grew back or something and Ilse's body was inside of it, do you?
I don't know, because it looked like such a perfect, like, opening that was the same that the Titan had put her into, that I feel like it's just on the other side of the tree.
Yeah, I feel it. I want to see. Do you suppose the Titan did that? I mean, how could it? I mean, Ilse's body. How could it though?
See, it doesn't look like a hole in the tree. It's not all jagged. It looks
like the
exact hole that he put her into.
I think it is the exact hole that he put her into, but, like, there could have been, like, a thin layer that grew back over it.
Do
like,
trees do that?
I don't know.
I don't know enough about trees
but
and regrowth of trees.
From the direction, I guess, of the shot, like, it looks like it's the same direction as where he was hitting his head on. Like, there's forest right behind the tree, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's forest all around. That's why it could so easily be a different direction.
I know, but, like, I don't know, the way it's shot, it looks like there's flowers in front of it, like, and, like, it's a big opening, and towards the end of, like, the big opening is the tree. It's interesting that there are flowers on the ground in this area.
It seems like it has to be such a special location.
Agreed.
Okay. are you glad that we watched this after episode 1? Because now we know what the kind of possibles it maybe spoiler is, because we would have found out in episode 1 that Titans could possibly talk. So would this have enhanced our viewing experience to see it before, or are we glad that we watched it after?
I know those were my two options, but I don't think it. And I put forward at the beginning,
Yeah.
but I don't think it mattered. Like, I think it's the third party. I don't think it mattered.
It did any disservice at all.
Agreed.
I don't think it improved it, and I don't think it did a disservice.
Agreed.
To the way we learned things.
Yeah.
Through the
Okay.
show.
Well, let's think about it. So, if we learned that Titans could talk, like the real difference is our first exposure being a regular Titan that we've seen before can talk, right? Versus a Titan that obviously looks different than every other Titan talking.
Our theories might have been different, because we were theorizing why the Beast Titan would be the one that could talk, and then we brought up the fur, and then we brought up maybe there's a person in there, but they haven't changed back in so long that he's now more intelligent and has grown fur. Who knows?
I mean, I think that holds a little bit of weight still, in the sense that this Titan, it wasn't like it was like obeying still. It was like showing signs of respect and obeying, like, yes, master, kind of tell me what's next.
Which is, the Beast Titan didn't have any sort of bow down type of respect for Mike. It wasn't like oh, you are better than me, or I am your subject. It was more like, oh, you little humans. You have developed something.
It was independent. It was free thinking. It was like, and this Titan did not seem free thinking in the same sense.
Yeah.
So we're on season 2, episode 1 right now. I had noticed something when editing that I wanted to bring up to Anna, and I didn't really know.
You told me, and then you were like, should I wait for the discussion? And I said, yes, do not tell me.
Well, I was going to wait until episode 2, but I think it might be interesting to bring up now.
For this discussion, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm curious.
Okay, let me find it. In the sense, after this Titan took Mike's ODM gear, turned around, I believe this is where it is, and then commands the smaller Titans to go back to what they were doing, there is a visual change in this Titan. So it should be happening right now. Look at its eye color. It's black and yellow.
Yeah. What
Before,
was it before?
It's human. I believe it's white and yellow.
Weird. So when it's talking, its eyes look more human.
And then it goes black and yellow when it's saying forth a command.
Some form of, like, whatever their mission or instinct is.
Or like okay, like, I'm gonna turn on, like, the cheat code to be able to activate these black and white or black and yellow eyes.
Which could totally parallel and relate to the small Titan we just met, where he's going between these kind of two driving forces within him.
Yeah. Did he when did he command to not eat him first? Because look, it's black and yellow again. Okay, so white and yellow, it's black and yellow when he throws the
horse.
Do you think it's just like an art mistake?
It could be an art mistake, or it could be a whenever his
Wait, we don't see him when he yells the command. Because right now he's not saying anything.
We can't see his eyes really close enough.
He's not commanding.
That
or
smile
anything.
is so creepy.
It's terrifying. It's honestly terrifying.
Also, I feel bad for Mike, so.
And he's saying, didn't I just say wait? That's not really a command, because then he kills it. And then his eyes turn black and yellow again.
Well, he didn't... Did it actually die? That's my question.
I don't know. Good question. But I thought that was really interesting, right? Like,
yeah.
Man, Lady Ymir.
I am sad that this girl died. This Ilse. That would be an awesome character to have. Someone who
Ilse's a badass, bro.
Writes down everything.
Yeah.
I mean, Hanji would have been like, "Oh, join me in discovering knowledge about Titans."
Isn't this a really interesting visual?
Oh,
remember when I talked about like the evolution aspect, like when we saw the
ecology of Titans?
Yeah.
Says.
Origin Titans is not recorded in existing
historical records.
Yeah, nearly all aspects there are unknown. Like
because the records have been locked up and destroyed. Duh.
Okay, well, like if we're just trying to interpret the visuals here, on one end of the scale, it started at chimpanzees and ended at humans, but we can't see what happened before chimpanzees. And on the other end, it started at something and then ended up being a Titan. So it seems like opposite sides of evolution, they evolved in different ways, kind of thing.
And it's what it's insinuating is that there is a before.
Yeah.
That there is an evolution to the Titans. That's what they're teasing right now.
Yeah. And they have strands of DNA. Like, it seems like two sides of the same coin kind of thing, in a sense. I would assume...
I mean, yeah, it's interesting that they're literally...
I would assume that they started at a similar, if not the same place, and there was a deviation, and like there was a fork in the road.
Change in the DNA.
Yeah. I mean, we know there's a change in the DNA to some extent with Aaron's dad injecting him, but it's interesting.
A Titan's sole behavioral principle is the devouring of people. But based on various data and records, the purpose for this is suspected to be slaughter rather than predation.
Yeah, we knew that.
We knew that.
Yeah, but it's...
That's not new. Where's an exciting story of a miner digging and then going and disappearing?
It's not a season finale. Man, Ilse is such a badass, bro. Do you think that she's some sense of, like... has like a relation or something to Lady Ymir? Or like why obviously this Titan didn't say Lady Ymir to Hanji.
Okay. The only issue with that,
it didn't even try to really attack Ilse, right?
So Ilse's family looked like they lived in a more impoverished area.
Correct.
And any relatives of nobility live inside Walsina, whether it's towards like down the line really, really far. So that would mean that she either resembles the lady or Lady Ymir is not the beginning time of the nobility that is currently in charge.
Yeah. So you know what I thought was really interesting? We got a piece of information kind of that was like quick, that it's been 15 years since they last captured a Titan.
Mm-hmm.
That is what year? It was 850 in this, was it?
Yeah.
So year 835. Like, why did they capture a Titan then? For the same reasons that like Hanji's trying to. Like, what did that
around?
go? I don't think so.
How old is Hanji?
But it's 835. They captured a Titan, and they decided at that point, or multiple people decided going forward, it's not worth it.
Because they lost too many lives in the process.
You wonder what happened, right? Like, what happened to those Titans that were captured? Did nothing come of them just because the research was bad? Were they killed?
They might have had to be killed because Hanji is the one who has developed a lot of the equipment for keeping them and having it be safe for the people experimenting and watching over them. So once they got them back, they might have not secured them in a way that would actually keep people safe.
Yeah.
And might have had to kill them.
So we know that we know they used to capture them. We know that Hanji started capturing them again. Everything was fine. She captured a decent amount, I'm assuming. I don't know if we got the actual number of how many she captured before Sonny and Bean.
It looked like there was like 4 or 5 in the net, but we were never told.
But what changed between her capturing Titans for experimentation with no issue and Annie having to kill Sonny and Bean. Like, it's the information I think that Eren can become a Titan, right? So because of the general public and the scout regiment learning that there could be a person in the back of a Titan controlling it, that information being leaked seems to be the only reason Annie felt like she had to kill Sonny and Bean.
And not because the possibility of learning that they could talk.
Or just random experimentation. Because there was experimentation before them too.
It had to be triggered by...
I would assume learning that Eren could be a Titan.
Well, yeah, because also there's probably no way that Annie would have found out that we know that they could talk. Because I doubt this information went to anybody except for, like, Hanji, Mike, Erwin, Levi.
Yeah. So, like, it's very interesting. So if you were Annie, right? And you knew something that obviously neither of us do. I'm like big speculating.
You know something that you don't know.
Okay, no. Okay, so if we're trying to think of, like, we're trying to mimic Annie's way of thinking, right? And we're trying to work backwards to figure out what they could possibly figure out by investigating these Titans after learning that Eren is a Titan. Like, if you are Hanji, okay? Not Annie. You're not Annie anymore, you're Hanji. And you know that you've experimented on Titans before, you've learned a couple things, like the weight with their arms and stuff, but after learning that Eren can become a Titan, and knowing what you know just from that, what experiments would you do that would be different after learning that he's a Titan?
I would probably want to carefully, while they're hooked up and still alive, dissect the neck.
Yeah,
but not
agreed.
remove the nape. Maybe just kind of peel back a little bit and look to see what's there.
If anything.
I would probably compare their DNA to ours.
I don't know if they have the technology.
Do they have? Yeah, that's.
But that's agreed.
They don't have that technology.
That's also what I would do, though. Like, I would think of it like as I would try to figure out what the differences are.
Like their blood compared to ours, because
Exactly.
theirs is so hot that it basically steams when it's on their body.
Yeah, and knowing that obviously Hanji knows that Eren can regenerate at that point, right? Mm-hmm. Would you try to, like, it would be very grim and bleak. What would happen if you took Titan DNA and tried to mix it with human DNA? Like, what would happen there? Like, I don't know. Like, it's interesting. Like, I want to know why Annie, like, what the reason was. Why, there obviously could have been something found out there, right? Annie didn't kill them for no reason. There was something that could have been found out at that point.
That
what was it?
Maybe they wouldn't have thought to look for until learning that people could turn into
exactly.
Titans. It had to be something that you could learn.
Yes.
But you wouldn't know to look for it until now.
Exactly. Obviously, it wasn't talking to them because Hanji tried talking to them.
And they didn't respond.
Yeah. Do you think it was, okay, what would have happened if Eren got to meet Sonny and Bean? Because he didn't, right?
They were dead by the time that Eren showed up.
Yeah. Do you think that something would have triggered inside Sonny and Bean seeing Eren? Or something would have happened? Maybe they would have talked to Eren or said something to him.
That's true. I mean, he might smell different.
Yeah. That could have been something learned. Right?
Yeah. Gosh.
There's so much to think about.
Oh, I didn't know what the slight spoiler was gonna be. It makes a lot of sense. I thought we were just maybe gonna see a hint of the Beast Titan, honestly, was my only kind of guess of what we might see.
I'm glad that we didn't.
Yeah, me too. It's just so, I mean, all of my thinking of why the Beast Titan could possibly talk kind of goes out the window with this little guy being able to talk. Mm-hmm. And also begs the question why aren't any of the other smaller ones or bigger ones talking?
There needs to be a reason to.
There needs to be a reason. Obviously
A trigger.
this was dedicated to staying in this area, and its goal was not to immediately kill people.
Well, it seems like it was, and if there's something that happened to Ilse that triggered it.
It's like a nature. Like
I don't think it's
human nature versus Titan nature or something split within it or something.
Yeah. I'm keen to thinking it was more Ilse than the Spot. Maybe a mix of both. The Spot's important. I think it was there's something like, okay, so if that scene went on a little longer with Hanji, do you think it would have talked to Hanji? I don't know.
No, because I think it talked because of the fact that it felt like, and it kept her body.
Yeah.
Because it felt, so it wouldn't have thought Hanji was Lady Ymir because Ilse is Lady Ymir to it. And that's why it's so delicately placed inside the tree to be respected.
So it still thought that it was Lady Ymir, and it also, we saw her handbook or notebook on the ground.
Yeah, it's just been there.
It must have well, didn't they find the notebook on her body?
No.
You sure?
Doesn't she like drop it? And I saw it on the ground.
Well, no, she did drop it, and it was on the ground, but when Hanji and them found it...
Oh, it was in her pocket!
Yeah, so it, like, someone, a Titan, must have picked it up, seemingly, right? Or was it on...
Oh, no. That was them finding out
still?
about the armband. It was on the ground.
Name of... So, yeah, it was still on the ground. Okay.
It's probably been in that same place
spot, yeah,
since she died.
So you think the Titan still thought it was Lady Ymir after death? Okay. I could see that. So why kill her? Because you're fighting with yourself? Not because...
That's what I'm leaning towards.
Gotcha.
That it didn't want to, but it was its nature, and so it was fighting against its nature, and nature won. Not
like a... Okay, I like that. Not like a Lady Ymir wouldn't ask me these questions. No. I get the fighting nature thing. Especially if, like, you've been a certain way for a long time. And then... Okay, I like that.
OVAs for this show are good.
Right?
I feel like you are doing a disservice to the show now if you don't watch the OVAs for Attack on Titan.
I think so. I agree with you.
And now it makes me feel like I need to start watching OVAs for shows because I don't normally.
Well, I don't know if there are any other OVAs in the future that we're going to be watching, like after seasons. You know, I don't know that yet. So I hope there are.
I hope so.
Yeah,
it's kind of nice to have like a side story.
And like what, a flashback? That was awesome.
I mean, both cases, I feel like it fleshes out the characters a little bit more. The ones that aren't necessarily in the front of the screen the whole time.
Last thing, one of the things that we said at the end of episode 1 of season 2 is like, oh, Mike, like he died. Now nobody knows that Titans can talk. Obviously,
they already
do know,
knew.
Yeah, in a certain sense.
Wow. But... Okay. Whew, I'm a little less like, we were like, oh, that knowledge is lost until we see the Beast Titan again.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
Alrighty, you good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.